How often are you approached by women? I feel like I never get approached by women, neither romantically or in a friendly way. Is this a pretty good indication that I'm an ugly guy? Because I'm sure that women are much more willing to approach an attractive guy, right? Never. For a date or find me attractive in some sort of way, shape, or form? Never. For help? Usually every now and then. According to me, never. According to my girlfriend, often. Never. They don't even look my way. I'm 43. I was approached by a lady for the first time in my life 2 months ago while I was doing some electrical work in her office. I seriously couldn't believe it. To not seem desperate, I set an alarm to text her 24 hours later. We've been casually seeing each other ever since. I get asked for money by homeless women all the time where I live. It's not an indication that you're ugly. It's just that women don't approach men. Any woman who does is one in a million. Like for girls approaching wanting to date? Pretty much never. They come up to me all the time at restaurants and bars, and take my order. The last woman that approached me wanted me to sign a petition for some political thing. Romantically? Never. I am well aware of where I stand. Like 3 times in the last 32 years. Woman here, I'm glad you posted this. I'm giving up on dating apps for a while and trying meet the old-fashioned way IRL. In the past I've opted for dropping hints or trying to make eye contact. With mixed results. My friends say I should just go bold and approach guys I find attractive. And I'm getting the sense most y'all want women to be more direct? Like, to open a jar? Once in my 24 years on this earth, I was working at a pet store and 2 girls came by the register to check out. Had a pleasant conversation with them and they left. Next, the one girl came back looking flustered and approached me asking if I was single because her friend wanted to go out. I declined as I was in a relationship at the time, but I told her to thank her friend and that it made my day. Still think about it and smile. I'm a fat Asian. Happened once. She was drunk, and I noped the hell out of there. What's that? Once. For being friends? A lot when I was around women my age. They want girlfriend treatment without being GFS. No thanks. Never. Those cold phone callers count? They seem pretty interested. Face exhaling. Once in a while I get flat out approached. But often I get the subtle vibes I'm being approached, but I'm not completely certain. I'm gay though, so I don't really care either way. Lol. Is a joke, right? Only if she's a waitress. Why would a random woman talk to me? Guys talk to me all the time though. Yesterday a guy who looked like a cross between Argyle from Stranger Things and Joey Ramone walked up to me and said, "Oh man, I like your shirt, LMAO, thanks bud." Never. No, it's not an indication you're ugly. That's just how it is. Women are not expected to make the first move. We are. Pretty much never. Not being approached is just a pretty good indication you're male. Women are way more likely to approach a guy in a bar after they have had some refreshments. Only place I have ever seen or experienced this. However, they are far more likely to do the traditional stare. Look embarrassed. Look away. Stare again. Repeat. Much more common. And again, alcohol seems to increase the probability of this behavior. Never. Not in years. 0. Women aren't interested in men anything like how men are interested in women. We barely register on their radar as anything other than something to avoid. Cold approach seldomly. But a slow build approach, it happens more often than I thought it would. Most of the times it's about asking for directions, but seldom. Occasionally I get the "hi, I'm nice" To meet ya. I've been told I've got one of those friendly faces. Not a model's face, but a face of someone that's probably chill and won't stalk you. Never. Rarely. A drunk lesbian hit on me one night. I exclaimed, "But you're a lesbian." And she said that I seemed nice. IDK. Approach due to obvious romantic interest? Maybe 4 or 5 times in my life. Approached in a friendly way happens here and there. But definitely not often. Approached often. But at my stage of life I am obviously harmless to almost all women. As well as still good looking. Plus, being fat. They know if I'm troublesome they can always outrun me. In what way specifically? To be asked out? Pretty much never. To be complimented out of the blue? Never. To have a chat small talk where she initiated outside of areas where people typically do small talk? Rare. 2 times in real life, but they were basically blackout drunk, so it's an obvious no. Women probably would be more inclined to approach guys that they find attractive. But women fear rejection just like men do. Only difference is, the man is expected to approach the woman. And men get rejected at rates far greater than women do. Doesn't matter if you're in shape or dress well. Women would rather you approach them than the other way around. Looks do factor into the response you get when approaching a woman, however, as well as what you say to her. Twice in my life. Both ended in long-term relationships. Happened a few times when I was younger, but now, never. Being an attractive male, never. Y'all get approached by women? It used to happen but stopped. This is a serious question? Da fuck outta here. Lol, really? Women do not approach men. You'd have to be supermodel hot for that to happen as a man. If you want to talk to women, suck it up and go talk to them. This is a terrible indicator of your attractiveness. Men and women are different. Twice in 36 years. Unfortunately, I didn't feel the same way. Never. I get times when they'll walk up and start talking, but I have no idea if there's any kind of deeper intention going on or what. Oh wait, you're serious? I've never seen a woman do this. It's so rare. I usually use this as an example of something being rare. That's how rare it is. It's my dream to get approached by one out of nowhere. Only once, and I'm like above average. I have more success on dating apps. Never. That's the downside of being a little chubby, lol. Lol, women don't approach, and they created an environment where approaching is high risk. If they don't find you attractive, then you're the scum of the earth and a giant rapist. Creep that should die. But if you do the same thing and you're attractive, then they're grateful, LMFAO. Never. Well, almost never. It's happened maybe twice in the past 10 years. Last time it was by a really cute girl who worked in the shop next to where I worked. She started to come for odd things. Hey, do you have any paper towels? Our shipment is late, or little things like that. Then she started stopping by just to chat. Finally, I asked if she wanted to get a drink or dinner or something. And she said sure. In 2 weeks, once I'm 21, I stopped to see her at work the next day, and it was the cold shoulder. Haven't talked to her since and have no idea why. Since high school, barely. Lol. God's perfect creatures come down to my level? Only if they need help. Something. Women normally don't do this. Even if they want you, they don't. It hasn't happened in years, and the only time it happened, I was married at the time and wearing my ring. Definitely not as much as when I was younger. Now it's more like I get a hi or a smile from a random female stranger.